Hello, everyone. Good morning, happy Monday, and welcome to my podcast, Monday Morning Muse. Like we said last week, it's the time of festivities around. Now that our big fat Ganesha has left us for the year dancing his way through the ocean, we gear up for the next, Onam. I can say the festival of flowers and Sadhya maybe. Those are the two things I can relate to when I say Onam. This year, Onam was on Sunday. Though we don't get holiday for Onam in Chennai, I used to take off stating this reason. Why miss a chance, I say? But on a serious note, I was not particularly attached to this festival since my childhood. I was more into the Tamil festivals as I was brought up here. My sister loves celebrating Onam and having an interest in this rangoli and stuff. She used to wake up at 5 in the morning to put the pookalam. While I slept happily till 8 and 9, the pookalam will be all ready and the kitchen will be on full action mode for the Sadhya thereafter. And after joining work, I had my cousin who joined work in Chennai as well. She used to come home every weekend and eventually we got very, very close. From then, I started going to my native more often than before, and once we went for Onam. After we landed at my favorite aunt's house, we started off with the pookalam, and that was the first time I ever even assisted with the pookalam. Then I started assisting in office celebrations and stuff, but when I got married, the first Onam with my in-laws, that was the very first time I did my own pookalam, which I can say I was proud of. But this time, having my husband around, who is a walking encyclopedia, I checked on why this festival is being celebrated and he explained, as usual, very patiently. The reason behind celebrating Onam goes like this. It is basically to commemorate the rule of the demon king, Mahabali, who is said to be a very generous and righteous person, unlike the general description of demons. He treated everyone equally, and it is said that there was no poverty, crime or cruelty during his rule. On the same lines, there is a folklore song in Malayalam that goes, Maveli naadu vaanidum kalam manushyarellam onnu pole, kallavumilla chadiyumilla, ellolamilla polivajanam. He became such a people favorite that Lord Indra, he felt threatened of losing his power, which by the way, he is known as the King of Kings. Also, he was not favorable to the idea of a demon being superior than him. So he took this up with Lord Vishnu, the preserver, and he assured Lord Indra on coming up with a solution on this. And Vishnu took up an avatar of a Brahmin boy named Vamanan, and he came forward to King Mahabali and asked for a 3 feet land to build an ashram. And Vamanan also said he will personally measure the 3 feet. But Mahabali was concerned and asked if 3 feet would be sufficient for an ashram, and Vamanan, he assured it would be fine, and he took a promise from the king for the 3 feet land. After the promise, Vamanan, being the avatar of Vishnu, used his superpowers to grow up as enormous as possible, that with his first feat of the 3 feet asked, he conquered the sky and above. And the second feat he took, the earth and below. There is nothing left for the third feat asked for, and he asked Mahabali that he had promised 3 feet, but with 2 all is done. Where should he keep his third feat as promised? Mahabali, being the most righteous and honest king, without any second thoughts, removed his crown and told Vamanan to keep his third feet on his head. Knowing Mahabali will be sent to the Padalam, as they say, Vamanan said he was so overwhelmed with the act and generosity of the king, and he granted him a wish. Mahabali, still being the greatest ruler, asked for once in a year visit to meet his people and kingdom, and that was granted. And people celebrate the day Mahabali visit their homes every year as the great festival of Onam. And rightly, Onam is celebrated irrespective of caste and class across the state as a mark of happiness and prosperity. And Onam is celebrated for 10 days starting from Attam to Tiruvonam. The first and the last stars being the most significant. The first day starts on Attam and called as the Attachamayam. It is in the Chingam month and it marks the beginning of the grand Onam celebrations ahead. And this day is a fiesta for cultural events and one can witness almost all the folk art forms of Kerala, and this is more famous in Trippunithara in Kerala. In addition to the well-known Pookalam and Sadhya, we can see boat races, Pulikali or the tiger dances and various other cultural events across the state. Even though I have been to Kerala once or twice for Onam, I haven't witnessed any of these cultural aspects of this festival. And when I told my husband I was not connected to Onam as much as I am to other festivals, he said maybe you didn't celebrate the way ideally it is celebrated in unison with family. And maybe that's true. Here we don't have holidays. Mom used to work in the kitchen while we used to either go for studying or work. And end of the day, we have a yummy payasam. That's all we do for Onam. But when my husband explained me all this and the way it is celebrated in his house or in his relative's place, and when he explained the significance of this festival, I wish I had done it right. And we agreed, okay, past is past, but let's make it a point to know the reason for celebration and celebrate the festival with full spirits. Makes sense, right? At least I felt that's true. Because I have a little human growing up watching everything around us. And I want him to learn all that we know and beyond in the right and true sense. Thank you for listening to this episode and I hope you liked it. Request you to subscribe, like and pin your comments on this episode. I will be back again next Monday with another episode of Monday Morning Muse. Until then, spread peace and take care. Lots of love.